had to abort the game plan, saying, let's just go out there and win. This is not what Denver is used to offensively. Manning put it this way: we're used to hitting home runs and triples, not foul balls. Kevin?
Well, that is for sure, Pam. That is for sure. And that's Mike Zimmer, second-year head coach of the Vikings, longtime coach in this league, 22nd year in the NFL. And he's starting to turn this Vikings franchise around.
Well, Mike Zimmer, a great football coach, been an assistant for a long time, toiled, got his opportunity, and his players have responded. It's a physical and tough team. The Broncos got their work cut out for them today.
Denver won the toss. They've elected to kick off. Brandon McManus has a big leg. And as you can see, he's been kicking it out of the end zone on regularity. DeMarcus Ware is ready. Vikings and Broncos are ready. Hopefully you are too. And here we go from Denver. Gorgeous fall day. Cordero Patterson watches it sail out of the end zone. And so here come the Vikings starting on offense with Teddy Bridgewater, who the last 2 weeks has gotten 2 wins. And John, his stats don't jump out of the page, but he's winning football games.
Yeah, and his offensive coordinator put it best. He's playing winning football, not fantasy football. The last I checked, that is the name of the game. Bridgewater playing efficiently. The plan today, run the football with Adrian Peterson and hit some shots downfield.
And we start with Peterson in the game, and he'll get it. Looking for something up the middle against this #1 Broncos defense. He's got 2 yards. So for these Vikings coming in at 2-1 after a rough opening night loss to San Francisco, they've played well the last 2 weeks, and they've done it behind the running game of that man. A heavy dose of Adrian Peterson, and why not? The defense, they've actually hit the quarterback more than anyone else in the league the last 2 weeks. Now we find out the Vikings are 2-1. How good are they? This is a tough game to win for them. Can they jump to the next level? They gave Peterson 3 on that last run, so a 2nd and 7 as they'll sling it out. It's Mike Wallace, the former Steeler, former Dolphin, now Viking. It'll bring up a 3rd down and short.
And this is where you want to live if you're Teddy Bridgewater and the Minnesota Vikings, against Von Miller, against DeMarcus Ware. You do not want to be in 3rd and long situations. 3rd and 3, now the dual threat ability of Teddy Bridgewater comes in as a factor.
On 3rd down this year, the Broncos 19%. It's a tremendous number and best in the league. Bridgewater rolls near side, hits Thielen, who's getting the start today, and he makes the catch, and it's a 1st down for the Vikings. Charles Johnson, maybe their #1 receiver, out with an injury, and Thielen gets a start and a 12-yard gain.
The Broncos, Chris Harris, Aqib Talib and company, so good in coverage. A great idea by Norv Turner. Put Thielen in motion, create some separation. The quick throw by Teddy Bridgewater. Tremendous execution on the first 3 plays by Minnesota.
John, Vikings not afraid to go 3 tight ends. They did it a lot against the Chargers. They've got that formation in to the right of your screen here. 3 on the field. There's one of them in motion. That's Rudolph. He'll throw it. Blitz. Bridgewater. Down he goes. T.J. Ward on the safety blitz.
T.J. Ward comes off the top of the screen on the blitz, but it's DeMarcus Ware down at the bottom that really causes, DeMarcus Ware up top that causes that sack. Wade Phillips brings the pressure, dials up the pressure, and they get Teddy Bridgewater for a big loss.
They mark it as a loss of 13, and so the Broncos, they have been getting to the quarterback. It's their 12th sack of the year. They'll run it with Peterson. Big hole. And Peterson, it's a nice chunk back. He's going to be out to the 34. 8-yard gain and still a 3rd and long.
And Kevin, this is, in talking to Teddy Bridgewater, Norv Turner, this is not where you want to be living. We saw the first 3rd and 3. You got Von Miller. You got DeMarcus Ware. Tough duty to block those guys on a 3rd and 15. In fact, near impossible.
Vikings have Stephon Diggs, their 5th-round draft pick, the rookie in the game, a wide out top of your screen. Broncos show blitz. Here they come. Up the middle. Bridgewater in trouble. And he's sacked by Ware. What a start for DeMarcus Ware.
A tremendous job. They're going to bring those two rushers we were talking about right up what we call the A gap, the center guard gap. And DeMarcus Ware, the guy, so much talk about Von Miller, but it's DeMarcus Ware that seemingly has found the fountain of youth with another sack.
He's now got 4.5 sacks, and this just the 4th game of the year. Here's the punt, fair catch called for by Sanders. What a start for the undefeated Broncos. Their defense showing you why they're #1 in the league. And the Broncos have the football now. And we get a chance to see Peyton Manning for the first time on the field. Scoreless game of the first. Here comes Peyton Manning. Back to Denver in a moment.
Game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your airfare now at southwest.com.
Get to see Peyton Manning for the first time on offense. He's been slightly good since coming to the Broncos at home. 23-2, 70 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. And they'll start with an empty set from their own 37. 4-man rush. Manning looking far side of the field. And he's got a man wide open. It's Anderson. They split him out from the backfield. And what a start as a big completion of 27.
Well, they've been struggling to find the explosive plays, and they get one right away. The underthrow by Manning to C.J. Anderson. He does a nice job of concentrating, bringing that ball in, and an explosive right off the bat for Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos.
Anderson stays in the block. Manning coming near side. He's got a completion to Demarius Thomas, looking to make moves, but the Vikings covered him up. So Thomas going to pick up about 5. Captain Munnerlyn on the tackle.
You know, Kevin, really interested in talking to Peyton Manning the other day. He talked about the importance of being aggressive on 1st and 2nd down. This Minnesota team is tough to deal with on 3rd down. They got a number of complex pass rush and blitz packages. He wanted to be, he said, fellas, we don't have to get to 3rd down. Let's go 1st down, 2nd down, 1st down.
3-man rush. Manning has time going far side. He's got a completion. There's Thomas, and it's a 1st down. Gain of 11.
And this is exactly what Peyton's talking about, being aggressive on 1st and 2nd down. You see the route. You have to respect the speed of Demarius Thomas. Beautiful route, beautiful throw. Tremendous concentration bringing that ball in by Demarius Thomas.
Broncos have come out throwing. Hard count. And Vikings may have jumped. I believe it was Sharif Floyd.
Neutral zone infraction, number 73, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Walt Coleman, our referee. That was on Floyd. And we look at these Broncos who come in 3-0 today. And yeah, they've got Peyton Manning, but their defense has been the story. They're #1 in the NFL, and they're getting pressure, they're getting turnovers. Offense, what is their identity? Are they a running team? Are they a team out of the pistol? Are they a throwing team? We don't know. And listen, the Broncos, John, it's simple. They either win the Super Bowl or the season is not a success.
The goal is very clear here in Denver. They've been close. No more of that. So they want to build towards the playoffs.
From the 15, Anderson running right, nothing. That's the thing that has not happened. They have not found the running game every game so far this year under 70 yards on the ground.
And it needs to change, frankly. It's something Peyton Manning told us. Everything we're doing is geared towards getting the run game going. Gary Kubiak has always been good at running the football as an offensive coordinator, as a head coach. You see it worst in the league. That's got to change if you want a healthy Peyton Manning moving forward.
Yeah. And we'll see if they can change that today. 2nd down and 5.
Hey, 2-point, 55's Mike.
Vikings showing blitz. Here they come. Picked up. Manning nearly intercepted. Robert Blanton, the safety who jumped in front but couldn't hang on.
Again, A-gap pressure. We're seeing both defensive coordinators. It's Kendricks who's going to come up with a little pressure right in the face of Peyton Manning. Makes him throw the ball quickly. Blanton just looking at his eyes. Those are the ones you have to come up with against a guy like Peyton Manning, because typically when you drop him, he's too good. He'll come back to burn you.
And so a 3rd and 5 for the Broncos. Back to throw. Manning has a pocket. He's going to dump it off, and it's dropped. Owen Daniels couldn't hang on, and that'll lead to a field goal try.
Well, we saw the Broncos early on with the double A-gap pressure. DeMarcus Ware got a sack out of it. The Minnesota Vikings and Mike Zimmer, their head coach, really at the forefront of that defense. They show that double A-gap pressure. Manning has nothing downfield, and Owen Daniels just lets the outlet go right through his hands.
So now Brandon McManus, who actually had this job last year before losing out to Connor Barth midway through the season, has taken the job this year and been great. Perfect, 6 for 6. This from 33, and he's 7 of 7. Broncos get a field goal on their opening drive, take the early 3-0 lead. Minnesota on the field on offense next.
This game is sponsored by Bud Light. Make the right call. Drink responsibly.
That was a cool scene, moments for kickoff here in Denver. And good drive by the Broncos, but they kind of hit the brakes at the 15, so they settle for a 33-yard field goal by McManus, and now they'll kick it off. McManus will do that. And this is out of the end zone again. So we will see Minnesota on offense for the second time. And they got a taste of this #1 Broncos defense their last series. Denver all year has been really, really good. And there's a lot of reasons why. First of all, they're not allowing any yards. They're fewest in the NFL there. They've got how many players with a sack? 8 different players with a sack, and 2 of the best guys in the league at it. Not only that, 5 different players with a pick in that secondary. First team with 12-plus players with a sack or interception through the first 3 since the Patriots in 2002. They're getting turnovers. They're getting to the quarterback. It's a formula that's working for Wade Phillips. Here's the defensive coordinator. Here's Minnesota starting from their own 20. Adrian Peterson, top of your screen as a receiver. Bridgewater slings it over the middle. And he's got a completion to the tight end, Rudolph. He's going to pick up 5 yards.
Kev, you speak about that Denver defense. I'm not so sure in a long time in this league I've seen a defense as deep and then some qualities that just make greatness in this league right now. If you can rush the passer and you can cover man-to-man, you're going to be pretty darn good. These guys do it as well as anyone, and that's why they're the #1 defense in football.
Peterson. Nowhere to run for Adrian Peterson. Vance Walker was there initially, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
See Sylvester Williams there, and that's what you have to do. You got to earn the right to rush the passer, and the way you do that, you got to stop the run in Adrian Peterson. You see, stopping Adrian Peterson, it's not a one-man affair. It's a team defense type of deal. See Vance Walker, Brandon Marshall and company, everybody getting to the football for the Broncos.
Third and 5. 5-man rush. Wallace. Good move. Mike Wallace, first down and then some. He's out across the 35, and that's a pickup that Minnesota needed and a gain of 10.
A tremendous job. Again, Norv Turner coming up with ways, running traffic, in and out routes, trying to get some separation, which is tough to do, and Mike Wallace making Bradley Roby miss in space.
Peterson back in the game, so Minnesota picking up their second first down. Here's Bridgewater, set up a screen, and that's not going to go very far. Stephon Diggs, the rookie out of Maryland. That's his first NFL catch, but he had nowhere to go because of Danny Trevathan.
So we're seeing the formula for Minnesota early on. A lot of run with Adrian Peterson and then quick throws. They're not going to put Teddy Bridgewater back there and say, hold on to the ball, because you got Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware coming. So quick throws, Norv Turner doing a nice job of generating some space through formations and motion.
Minnesota goes with a couple tight ends one more time to the right of your screen. on second down. Fake to Peterson. He's got time, a lot of it. Bridgewater going to go deep, and that's just out of bounds. He's looking for Thielen over there, and that had no chance to be caught. Now a 3rd and long.
You see the heavy dose of Adrian Peterson, and then trying to take a shot down the field. Little changeup, playing a cover 2 defense. Safety up top over the top of Thielen, and Chris Harris bumping down below. A changeup for Wade Phillips, who's done a tremendous job of that. Yes, their bread and butter is man-to-man, but he throws enough zone in there to keep quarterbacks off balance.
Third and 8. 4-man rush over the middle. Nice catch. And that should be good enough for a first down. Diggs is a guy that caught it. He had Roby all over him, but Diggs took it down, and they're going to mark it a hair shy of a first.
Bridgewater doing a tremendous job throwing the football. Gets a little more out front. He may well have that first down. But Minnesota,
they're going, John.
Yeah, Mike Zimmer keeping that offense out there.
Oh, this is fascinating. Early call. He definitely did not get it. It's a half a yard for Minnesota on 4th down. A quarterback sneak, and he's got it easily. Teddy Bridgewater behind his center. Joe Berger just fell forward to the right, and he's got a first down. Gutsy call early in this game.
I tell you what, we talk about the Denver offensive line and the adjustments that they need to make. This Minnesota offensive line is remade as well. Joe Berger, he's filling in for John Sullivan. Fusco, the right guard from last year, moves over to left guard. Khalil playing much better. Michael Harris at right guard was a right tackle last year. TJ Clemens, a rookie at right tackle. So a group that they've kind of put together. They're running the football. They're being physical up front.
Yeah, and the right tackle, Phil Lowhold, is hurt, so he's out too. Here's Peterson looking for a seam on that left side. Does not have it for a short game. He's going to pick up 3. First game break for us. Let's check in with Mike Hill.
Just saw Adrian.
Thanks, Mike. John, Aaron Rodgers this year, 11 touchdowns, no interceptions.
He's making it look easy, I'm telling you.
It's crazy.
He's doing things at the quarterback position that no one, and I said no one, has ever done. He's on a different level right now.
2nd down and 7. Bridgewater has time over the middle. Boy, that was just bounced right off of Brandon Marshall's chest. He was looking for Adrian Peterson, I believe.
And this is the kind of pressure that Denver and their pass rush puts on quarterbacks. Bridgewater a little hurried. Brandon Marshall sees his eyes, makes a good break on it. Adrian Peterson right out of his hands.
Surprising to me, Minnesota's already passed 10 times, run it 5 times, where the last 2 weeks they've run 63% of the time. They're going away from what they've done. That's Wallace in motion. 3rd and 7. Blitz. Picked up initially. He's got a man wide open, and it's Wallace using the speed for a Minnesota first down. Pickup of 18.
It looks as if Norv Turner and Teddy Bridgewater have found a target, and Chris Harris, they're going after him. He's a Pro Bowl cornerback, but first you got to protect. A beautiful job by Clemens, the right tackle, of running Von Miller by. And then again, Norv Turner formationally creating some separation. Chris Harris can't keep up with Mike Wallace right about now.
Mike Wallace has been waiting for his breakout game. Came over from the Dolphins after signing that big deal. Didn't really work, even though he had 10 touchdowns last year. Was never that home run threat. But he's off to a good start with 3 catches today. Fake to Peterson. Bridgewater late to Peterson in the flat. And because of that, Adrian's in trouble. He's going to lose. Good tackle by Brandon Marshall. So the Vikings throwing the football today, not afraid to throw it. Bridgewater 8 of 10 thus far.
You know, one thing, you see Shaquille Barrett here and Shane Ray, the rookie out here. They've done a great job of keeping DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller fresh. The reason they can do that, they go about 5 deep at outside linebacker of guys who can get after the quarterback.
Not too many teams afforded that luxury. Poor Darrell Patterson, former first-round pick in the slot now. Trying to get him going on offense. They like to run reverses to him, too. Bridgewater back to pass. Down he goes again. Shane Ray comes in for the sack, the 3rd of the game for Denver, and his first in the NFL.
Well, Shane Ray going to line up here, going to come inside, working on the right tackle, beats him, and Shane Ray at one point was going to be a top 10 pick, had some off the field issues that allowed the Broncos to get him later in the draft, and that's just what they need, another pass rusher on this defense.
And so now a 3rd down and 20. Coming near side, Wallace, and he is taken down. Oh, this Denver D, Chris Harris, you talked about him going after him. Well, that time Harris made the play. Wallace to lose yard, and now Minnesota will punt.
Again, you see the effect that this pass rush at Denver has on offenses. They don't trust their ability to protect, so they want the ball out of their hands. Chris Harris been beat early, but he's a competitor. He stands up, makes a great play.
It was a nice drive. Jeff Locke is your punter. Sanders. Fair catch at the 11. So it was a nice drive by Minnesota. 13 plays, but the Denver D pushes them back at the end. Now they've got the ball up 3-0.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by the Ford F-150. Every other truck is history. By Burger King. Kickoff fall with a new Oreo Pumpkin Spice Shake. And by Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side.
Gorgeous fall day in Denver. 3-0 Broncos, 46 seconds to go in the first quarter. And their football starting out on their own 11. Minnesota had a rare 13-play, 37-yard drive. You don't see that often. And they get it back to Anderson, running, looking for something. And we get a flag. Anderson out across the 15. And we've got a penalty. So we'll see what that is with Walt Coleman, most experienced referee in the league. Take a look at Michael Schofield, John's.
Holding, number 14, offense. Half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
So that's on Latimer. So Schofield, we just showed you, number 79, a 3rd-round draft pick last year, playing his first NFL snap today. That's because Ty Sambrailo, the left tackle, hurt his shoulder. So Schofield goes to right tackle, and then Ryan Harris, who is normally on the right side, he goes on your left side.
And Schofield, the guy that was a high-round pick, 3rd-round pick last year, they never got him on the field. John Elway and management wasn't happy about that.
Yeah.
They had him on the inactive most of the year. He gets his opportunity today. Gary Kubiak has challenged him to make the most of that opportunity.
And in trouble, tipped at the line, and incomplete. Boy, Barr was there as far as trying to intercept the ball, and it was Linval Joseph knocking it down.
And you see pressure right up in Peyton's face. The play action, Everson Griffin brings the pressure. He has to step up. Nearly an interception for Barr. And the Broncos continue to be ailed by the fact they can't get this run game going. They finally get some positive yards. Latimer, the 2nd-year player, gets a hold. It goes back and puts him in a negative yardage situation.
Danny Fowler's in the game for the Broncos in the slot. He had a nice week last week with his first 4 NFL catches, and now we get a flag.
False start, number 88, offense. Half the distance to the goal. Still 2nd down.
When you look at the Broncos offense, you look at a couple things. They're 3-0, so that's number 1. But I guess when you have Peyton Manning, you're not used to seeing this, right?
Yeah, and I think there's a couple of reasons. First of all, it's an entirely new offense, and it's an offense predicated on the run game working. They have not been able to get the run game going. When you don't have the run game going, that throws out about 50% of your offense because it's a run game and play action offense. That hasn't been anywhere to be seen.
Delayed draw. Anderson's got a hole, and that closed up quick. Boy, it looked like he had a lot of room to run. But Anthony Barr, 2nd-year man from UCLA, who is pretty much becoming a star in the NFL on the tackle. And that should take us to the end of quarter number 1. The Broncos have a 3rd down and long. When we come back, America's Game of the Week. Good matchup, a lot of D. Broncos in front, 3-0 from Denver. Welcome back. 2nd quarter from Denver. Broncos up 3-0. Got a 3rd and 13, though, from deep in their own territory on the 8.
55 is Mike. 55 is Mike. 55 is Mike. 787.
Back to throw. Delayed blitz, and Manning goes down. Kendricks disguised it beautifully.
this is where Minnesota is tough. We talked earlier. Watch Kendricks. He's going to come out and then come right through. The little delay, it opens up. Manning has nothing to do but get down before he gets the safety. Tremendous disguise and execution by this Mike Zimmer-led Minnesota defense.
Talked a lot about the Broncos defense to start, rightfully so, but this Minnesota defense has been excellent the last 2 weeks. Opening night they get gashed by San Francisco, Carlos Hyde, but since they've been difficult. And now Colquitt gonna watch his back foot. Gets off the punt. Near side Sherrills, good kick, no return. So Colquitt does his job. And now the Vikings will take over with 14:07 to go in the half. Minnesota defense getting that pressure and the sack from the rookie. Teddy Bridgewater on the field next.
Today's game is sponsored by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram. By Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by McDonald's. Now serving all-day breakfast.
3-0 Broncos over the Vikings. Minnesota great field position though thanks to their defense, and they've gone away from the run today, which is curious because they're the third best rushing team in the league, and they've got the leading rusher in Adrian Peterson, and they won't give it to him here. And Bridgewater is in trouble, gets away, still going, and just tries to throw it away. That's a wiggle of a job to avoid a 15-yard loss.
Norv Turner talked a lot when we talked to him yesterday about the need to get the ball in Adrian Peterson's hands and then explosives off it. But they haven't set up Adrian Peterson as of yet. And as a result, the Denver defense just keeps coming at Bridgewater. Norv Turner knows this, and he's a coach who has always stuck to the run, but he better start putting it in 28's hands or Teddy Bridgewater's not going to be out on that field. He's getting hit so much.
It's a little surprising. Peterson yesterday when we talked to him, when asked about this Denver defense, applauded how good they are. I said, hey, we got to do one thing. Run it straight at them. Not so far. Try it here, and Peterson muscles his way for 4 yards. So you look at a 3rd down and 6.
You know, you talk about Adrian Peterson, and you know, he mentioned earlier in the year that he doesn't like running the ball by the gun, and here's one reason. He wants to go. You see Teddy Bridgewater barely get that ball in his pocket because Adrian Peterson does not like waiting. He wants to get the ball deep and go downhill.
Instead, a 3rd and 6. Blitz. They back off now. Bridgewater in trouble. Throws getting knocked down. And the rookie's got it. Wow. Diggs came back, made a spinning catch, and a 3rd down hookup of 25.
Well, first of all, tremendous job by Bridgewater. Von Miller had flat out beat Matt Asiata coming across the formation. You see Von Miller all over Teddy Bridgewater. His eyes stay downfield. And he throws it to the rookie Diggs. And he told us the other day, I have no qualms and hesitation throwing it to Diggs. The entire offseason, preseason, he's been making plays. He's ready to go. And Bridgewater shows that trust, and it pays off.
There's Diggs. He's a 5th-round draft pick from Maryland. Inactive the first 2 games, but he's got 3 catches already today. 1st down. There's Peterson. Up the middle. And he gets down to the 20. He's going to pick up 3. You know, it's interesting with Charles Johnson out, who's a very reliable player for them at wide receiver. We got an idea that Diggs would play a lot today. And, you know, again, his first NFL action. Who was his wide receivers coach at Maryland? Keenan McCardell. Pretty good teacher, I'd say.
My old teammate down there in Tampa and a technician when he played. And I'm sure a technician as a coach.
He's at the top of your screen, the rookie, on a 2nd and 7. Fake to Peterson. Bridgewater, this time slinging it for Rudolph over his head. Incomplete with Ward on the coverage. And so a 3rd and 7.
And Kevin, that's a matchup that Norv Turner and Teddy Bridgewater like. Kyle Rudolph on TJ Ward. Ward known for being in the backfield, a run stopper, not known for his coverage. That right there is the matchup they like. They misfire here, but they like that matchup, and we'll come back to that.
He's been under heavy duress. Third down. Pressure in his face. Throws it deep for Wallace, and he overthrew him. He had him. Wallace had a step, but instead the Vikings will settle for a field goal.
Again, the formations coming up with ways to gain separation. Mike Wallace can flat out run, and Chris Harris is having a tough time in one-on-one with him. And Teddy Bridgewater saying, I'm going to continue to go at an errant throw. He had the separation if the throw was on target.
So this will be a 38-yard try for Blair Walsh. And he doesn't put it through. He missed it. Walsh misses a 38-yarder. He pushed it left. And so the Vikings, a promising drive, goes awry. Wade Phillips says, no good. Blair Walsh missed a gimme, 38-yarder that he pushed left, and this right after he missed, this is what happened. That's Adrian Peterson.
And that's tremendous leadership, because he knows he's going to need Blair Walsh, and this team will need Blair Walsh later in this game. It's setting up to be a very tight game. Adrian Peterson going to his kicker said, hey, it's all right, we need you later.
Ronnie Hillman in the game at tailback for the first time, gets it. Sweep left, good hole. Oh, look at this. Off to the races. Hillman. 72-yard touchdown. What about getting that running game going, John?
Yeah, it wasn't working with C.J. Anderson. Gary Kubiak told us, we're going to find a way to get this thing going. It doesn't matter if it's Ronnie Hillman, Jawan Thompson, their third running back. Watch Owen Daniels pulling out. He gets the key block on Terrence Newman right there. And Ronnie Hillman, one thing he has is flat out speed, a change of pace back, and he shows the Vikings some pace, outrunning them all to the end zone.
Here's something fascinating. That one run alone, 72 yards, was more than the Broncos have had in any game this season. So yeah, they needed it. And how about that? After the missed field goal, first play, boom. Looking to make it 10-0 here with McManus. That hurts if you're Minnesota. Kick is up and it's good.
See the key block by Owen Daniels and left tackle Ryan Harris. Hillman to the house.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football.
Wow. What a play by the Broncos, who needed something from their run game. And you see it's been a while. 72-yard touchdown run from that man, Hillman. Longest touchdown run of the year in the NFL.
And just a tremendous job of blocking up front. Owen Daniels kicks Terrence Newman out, and Ryan Harris, who's shifted over from right tackle to left tackle, Minneapolis kid from Minneapolis, gets up and blocks Chad Greenway and springs Ronnie Hillman.
And so Minnesota, who has had the ball a lot today, I mean, they've run 25 plays, but they haven't been able to score, and now find themselves down 10-0. Returnable for Cordero Patterson. He's going sideways, but he's got speed, and we get a flag too. Couple of flags on the play. Patterson trying to make something happen. He's taken 2 back on kickoff returns in his career. We've got 2 flags for Walt Coleman to tell us about.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 42 of the return team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
You take one more look at that long run by Ronnie Hillman, and it's Owen Daniels. He's going to kick out Ryan Harris. You see him on Chad Greenway cutting him. Ronnie Hillman sees the seam and then turns on the jets.
So now the Vikings on offense, where they have passed the ball 18 times and run it just 7. They've got to get the NFL's leading rusher going in Peterson here. 6 carries, 20 yards. They'll get it and nowhere to go. Ware all over it.
And the reason that they're throwing the football is because Wade Phillips is daring him to. He's loading the box with defenders. On that particular run, I mean, you just look at it. They got 9 guys up there. The cornerback covering the wide receiver and the safety are the only ones left. Too many guys to block. But I think it's still what Norv Peterson has to. That's his best bet today. Give the ball to Adrian Peterson and then change up with the play action downfield.
What John talked about, 2nd and 11 to run it again. Peterson, you talked about it. There's multiple layers to get through here. Short gain and 3rd down and long.
And that's the problem. It's just in football, you don't want to be in 3rd and longs, especially against the Denver Broncos with Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, and the blitz package that Wade Phillips has at his disposal. See on the 2 corners, Miller and Ware.
3 sacks already for Denver. Bridgewater in trouble again, incomplete. And just like you were talking about, Bridgewater had to hurry that one.
The tackles, even if you're a Pro Bowl tackle, you can't block these guys. And you get in these 3rd and long situations, I'm not so sure Matt Khalil doesn't hold DeMarcus Ware in the end zone, which would have been a safety. There's just too much pressure to deal with. You can't be in 3rd and longs versus this defense.
That is dangerous here for the Vikings. Jeff Locke, who's actually last in the NFL in average hang time. And Emmanuel Sanders back deep. Locke gets off a beauty, though, and Sanders calls fair catch. That's a great punt.
Some nice hang time there.
Yeah. 50 yards, no return. 4.2 on the hang time. Here's Peyton Manning up 10. That Vikings offensive line has had a difficult time against this wicked Denver pass rush today. Broncos have it. 1st and 10, up 10 here in the 2nd quarter. Gary Kubiak with the play sheet looking on. Hillman had the big run last time. This is Anderson trying to get in on the fun and pick up a 4.5 for C.J. Anderson. Hey, October means baseball. FS1 continues to be your home for postseason action. The American League Division and Championship Series. Don't miss a moment of the drama and history. It begins Thursday on FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Junior! Marshall, tip! Hey, DT! Marshall! Omaha!
On 2nd down, Manning to throw over the middle, lofts one, and he's got a completion and a big one for sure. There he is, Thomas, with the grab and the run. And for Manning, a 31-yard hookup.
You know, Kevin, we get so used to the gyrations and the audibleizing by Peyton Manning, Omaha and such. That one, it was, hey, DT. Well, I guess this is hey, DT. And hey, DT works pretty effectively because Demaryius Thomas is a tough man to cover.
And so the Broncos on the move with a 1st and 10 from the 23.
Omaha!
And Minnesota may have jumped for the 2nd time today on that Manning cadence.
Neutral zone infraction, number 97, defense. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
It's Everson Griffin, probably their best defensive lineman, gets called there, and so that'll be a 1st and 5.
And you see just the command. We're seeing this more and more in this league, the hard count from the shotgun. It used to be only under center. Now guys like Peyton Manning have taken it to the next level, drawing guys off sides from the shotgun.
Anderson tries to cut back right and just nowhere to run there. Vikings played it well with Barr, who was a 9th overall pick out of UCLA last year.
And he's becoming a force, Kevin. You hit it earlier. Anthony Barr is now a guy, when you're an opposing offense, we've got to account for this guy. What I like about him, He's 6'5", 255, right in the middle of the field, and they line him up right in the quarterback's eyes. They let him see that presence of 55. Here it is right there.
He was a tight end at UCLA first couple years there. Manning going sideline. Dangerous pass. Has a hook up to Thomas, but a quick tackle. Game break time to Kurt Menefee.
Well, here's another guy you have to account for if you're playing defense. Tavon Austin. He scores for the Rams on the pass from Nick Foles. Put them up 7-0 over Arizona. Cardinals have added a couple of field goals, but it's still a 1.76 St. Louis lead. Kevin, John,
Interesting. Very interesting there. Good one in the NFC West. Here are the Broncos with a 3rd down and 4. Already up 10-0. Bring Cody Latimer in the game. He's at the top of your screen.
Kevin, here's that double A gap pressure. You see the two guys in the middle. They want to put pressure right in the face. We'll see if they come or bluff out.
And Manning saw it too. Didn't like it, so he calls Denver's first timeout of the half. Broncos looking for more. Up 10 over the Vikings here in Denver.
Denver, they're calling it the great compromise. What do I mean by that? Well, early on in the season, under center was Peyton Manning. You see, now they moved to the shotgun. The problem is that limits the run game that Gary Kubiak likes to run. So what do? You move to the pistol, which is a compromise. It gives Peyton Manning what he likes in the gun, but also that halfback, 2.5 yards back from him in that I formation. It allows you to be balanced, allows you to run the ball and have the play-action game. And Peyton Manning the other day said, I've never seen such analysis about, I'm not the first guy ever in the shotgun, not the first guy in the pistol.
But he did say, hey, the one thing is I can assure you everything we're doing is to try to get the running game going. That's it. 3rd down. Manning flushed out of the pocket on the run. There's Sanders. Makes the catch, absorbs a hit. 1st down pending a penalty, though, which is on the far side of the field. So let's see. So Sanders getting involved
formation. Offense, number 68 was not on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
This is a point of emphasis throughout the league. These tackles trying to cheat. You see Ryan Harris. What you have to do is break the midline of the center's rear end. Ryan Harris too deep, and they get him for being too deep in the backfield.
And the reason, obviously, you try not to give the offense too big of an advantage, so you kind of give yourself extra yardage against those hard-charging defensive ends. So that hurts. Instead of a 1st down, move it back now, a 3rd and 9 from the 22. This would be the shotgun for Peyton Manning, John. After your very good tutelage on the subject, Manning back, pressure, and he's sacked. That's Robinson who came, the veteran, to deliver it. Griffin was there as well, and it's Vikings pressure making a stand, and now a longer field goal.
Well, we see the two tackles. Michael Schofield working up top at that right tackle position. Brian Robinson comes inside on him. And Peyton Manning, nothing downfield. Here comes Robinson in his face. A win for the Minnesota Vikings.
9th year in Minnesota for Robinson. He's got 44.5 sacks now. This would be a 47-yard field goal for McManus. And it is true. So McManus has his 2nd field goal of the day. Peyton Manning a little bummed. Robinson's reeling in the fish. That fish, Peyton Manning, but that fish has a 13-0 lead. Adrian Peterson, the NFL's leading rusher. He's been spectacular the last 2 weeks, but he's been quieted today. Denver stacking the box. 260 on the ground the last 2 weeks. Today, 8 carries, 21 yards, and he hasn't had any room whatsoever. Minnesota has sustained some drives, but they don't have any points on the board. Now the kickoff bounces around, and Patterson will let it roll out of the back of the end zone. So the Vikings will take over this drive on their own 20. And we'll see Teddy Bridgewater. And they had a 13-play drive, and they punted another time. They had great field position, missed a 38-yard field goal. We talked to Wade Phillips about Peterson, right? He said he's going to get his yards. You can't let him dominate the game. Far from it so far.
Absolutely. And Wade Phillips, as I said earlier, he's daring North Turner, Teddy Bridgewater, put the ball up, because I'm not letting Adrian Peterson get going. You see all the people up in the box. Again, North Turner challenged them to run it, and now North Turner comes out empty. Said, we're going to Get everybody out of that box, spread you out a little bit.
They put Jared McKinnon top of your screen, the running back, but instead they'll throw it to the slant across the middle, and that's Thielen who makes the catch, and he's going to be a yard shy of a first down. There is Norv Turner, 31st season in the NFL. He knows a little bit about winning, and he certainly knows a little bit about great running backs.
Well, when you've coached Eric Dickerson and Emmitt Smith, oh yeah, the all-time leading rusher, and now Adrian Peterson. And Norv Turner's got a lot to do with that. He's a guy who believes in the run, he sticks with it, and his offenses have run it as well as anyone throughout his career.
Second and short. Here's Peterson. Stutter step, first down. You know, and the neat little game within the game today, you get Norv Turner and going against, you know, Wade Phillips. And you know, Wade obviously has been around forever. 24 years as a defensive coordinator, multiple years as a head coach, including here in Denver for a couple years. And he was funny when we talked to him about this matchup, and he said, well, we hadn't worked together, surprisingly, because I've been with just about every team.
Exactly. But two old-school, fantastic coaches who believe in old-school principles, but have also kept up with changing times and stayed innovative. Two of the best this league has to offer.
All right, fake to Peterson, coming near side, and that time the rookie dropped it. He's had a good first half, Diggs, but he couldn't contain it. And we talked about Phillips. That's what's so interesting, John, about this Denver staff now. John Elway is the guy running the show. But you look at who they have together now. John Elway was the quarterback here. Kubiak backed him up for years, and then was the coordinator when they were defeated. He was the backup when they lost in the Super Bowl. Then the offensive coordinator when John the Broncos won the 2 Super Bowls. Wade was the DC. He was the head coach when John was the quarterback for 2 years. All this symmetry, and they're all back together as one term we heard is family, right?
Absolutely. These guys know what Pat Bowlen, the great owner of this franchise, is all about. And that's why they brought him in, to try to get the championship.
Asiata in the game and running back, giving Peterson a spell. He's got a short gain, give him 2. And so you're looking at a 3rd down and long.
You see another 3rd and long situation that this defense just feasts on. And you got to give this defense credit, because I said it earlier, you've got to earn the right to rush the passer. And what are they doing? They're stopping the run. That's allowing them to pin their ears back and try to get after Teddy Bridgewater.
There's Von Miller, 3rd and 7. Pressure. Bridgewater spins out, but he's going to go down again. He spun away from the first defender, Miller, but then Ware came in. That duo is dynamic.
Well, the 2 bookends. There's Ware, there's Von Miller. Watch Von Miller up top first. He gets the one-on-one finally, the spin move. Sorry, TJ Clemens. And here comes DeMarcus Ware, and then they get the Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware sandwich.
You know, downfield flag, John, and a late call here. And we didn't hear the mic. It was defensive holding. And so that gets nullified. So the hold was against Aqib Talib, far side of the field. We'll see if we can look at that play. So that nullifies a sack. Huge, obviously.
This Talib working on Stephon Diggs. He has some jersey and then gets a little tug. Not a whole lot of contact there.
There's Peterson sprinting to the outside. 3 Broncos all over him for a gain of 2. It's been tough sledding. Brandon Marshall was there initially for this Broncos team.
And interesting that when Adrian Peterson is getting the ball, a lot of it's coming from the shotgun, which he doesn't prefer. He's a guy who wants to get downhill. He wants the ball deep so he can attack with his speed.
Hasn't been able to do that as of yet. Vikings will go 3 wide, make it 4 wide on this play. Broncos rush 4. Bridgewater blocked up, fires a seed, and what a catch! And he dropped it, now he picks it up. I think he got it back. And that is Diggs again. Playing in his first NFL game, and he's made his presence felt. 25-yard gain.
Well, big credit to Stephon Diggs, but first of all, the protection. You got to protect. Bridgewater steps up in the pocket. And a beautiful catch by Stephon Diggs.
Now we get a challenge flag, John. They're going to see if that was indeed a catch. Now, the catch rule, you still always wonder as we look at the replay. But here's what
Denver is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed catch and a fumble.
You know, and I think that's a catch because that's not in the process of going to the ground. He's now a runner. I think that will stay a catch.
That's a key phrase. Review. We'll be back with the results. Here's the deal, John, with a catch. What they tell us is upright control, both feet down, and becomes a runner, which I think he did here. You know, and as we see, Mike Pereira is listening in back from L.A. Mike, you agree with us on this? Is this a catch?
Well, you know, here's the judgment they make. Is he going to the ground? To me, he turns upfield, tucks it away.
On the field stands. Completed catch. Recovery by the offense. Denver will be charged with their second team timeout.
And that's why they leave it as a catch, because you saw him turn upfield with control of the ball. Then the ball was knocked loose, and he recovered his own fumble at that point. I think that's a good decision.
Mike, thanks. So a good decision and a beneficial one for Minnesota, because now Gary Kubiak uses a timeout and he uses a challenge and he loses a timeout. And for Minnesota, it's a big pickup. And this kid Diggs, this rookie, playing in his first NFL game, 4 catches, 59 yards on a day they really need him.
Making the most of his opportunity. And one thing we're seeing about Teddy Bridgewater, poise. He's been under duress all day long, but he's staying calm and finding targets down the field.
And so from the 31, looked like some movement up front, going for Diggs again, but it's knocked away. Bradley Roby, second-year man from Ohio State, probably would start on a lot of teams, made that play. No flag, by the way, so second down. Broncos secondary, you know a thing or two about it. You played here for 4 years, but man, I mean, just the cornerbacks alone, I mean, they're so deep and so good.
Yeah, and you got to credit John Elway and his staff. I mean, the depth on this defense. There's all pros all over this defense, and then you got backups like Bradley Roby, who's a #1 pick. You see Aqib Talib playing outstanding football at one corner, Chris Harris at the other. This defense is loaded.
Throw it again. Bridgewater near side and just missed Mike Wallace. Adam, but inaccurate on the throw, and so a third down with 2:04 to go in this first half.
And that's a throw you have to hit if you're Bridgewater, because Mike Wallace has done his job. Chris Harris has backed off, afraid of that speed. He gets the separation wide open. That's a ball you got to hit, and accuracy usually a strong suit for Teddy Bridgewater.
It's interesting that Wallace has been open. He's missed him a couple times, and that's the kid Diggs, who hasn't played all year, who's got the chemistry so far. 3rd and 10, and here comes this Denver pass rush. They bring 4. Bridgewater steps away from pressure, runs, still going, diving for a first down, and he's got it. What an effort by Teddy Bridgewater. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. He's a runner, and he's got a first down, and the Vikings on the move. I'm pretty sure she's got iTunes right on her phone, John. Get apps, videos, and more at iTunes.com/NFL. That is a great outfit. Love it. 13-0 Broncos over the Vikings. 1:57 to go in the half. And Minnesota on a great drive here. They've got all 3 timeouts, 1st and 10 to 20. And Teddy Bridgewater, that man, we talked to so many people on the Vikings, and they all use one word to describe it.
Poise. Poise. And you're seeing it right now. You just saw the graphic. He's been under duress, sincere and real duress all day long, but yet he's very calm and cool. We see him using his legs to get the first down.
Adrian Peterson now as a wide receiver, bottom of your screen. This one over the middle, tipped, incomplete. That was dangerous. It was Pruitt, the backup tight end.
You know, Kevin, one of the interesting things, we asked about that poise to Teddy Bridgewater. He said, look, I knew I was going to be a quarterback when I was 5 years old. I noticed one thing. The camera is always on the quarterback, so good or bad, I made a decision. I was always going to be poised, as you see the near miss.
He had a great line, John. He said a college quarterback coach, Sean Watson at Louisville, always said, be the eye of the hurricane. That's the calmest part of the storm. Kind of fits today, doesn't it? 2nd and 10. Again, they go empty backfield. Peterson lined up as a wideout, bottom of your screen. He's got time, going down for Diggs, and it's overthrown, incomplete. Chris Harris had good coverage, and now a 3rd and 10.
Kevin, I like a subtle adjustment by Wade Phillips and his staff. Mike Wallace has been giving Chris Harris all he can handle. So what they do, they switched Chris Harris and Aqib Talib. They put Harris on the rookie Diggs and said, Aqib Talib, you take away Mike Wallace. Took a little pressure off Chris Harris, and he responds.
Bridgewater picked up a first down with his legs the last 3rd and long. 3rd and 10. 6 of 8 passing on 3rd down is Bridgewater, lofting it for Diggs, incomplete. And again, good coverage. That time it was Roby on Diggs, and now the field goal try for Walsh.
Nothing there. Good coverage down the field, and as they bring Walsh out, we'll see if he can make good. But that earlier miss looms large because they hit this field goal. Then you got a touchdown game instead if they make it 10 points.
He pushed a 38-yarder left earlier. He missed a couple left in practice. This is 38 yards again. And that one is perfect. So Walsh makes amends, gets the Vikings on the board after a nice little drive. As we check in with Kurt Menefee.
We're moving as fast as we can to get you ready for the Visa halftime. The Jets flew by the Dolphins in London. The Falcons put up points in a hurry against Houston, and the Raiders and Bears have a furious finish. We'll get you all up to speed at the half.
All right, Kurt, thanks very much. So good first half, defensive first half football. If not for Ronnie Hillman's 72-yard touchdown run, it's a pretty even game. And, at one point it felt like the Broncos were up 20. Vikings right in this.
Oh, they certainly are. That was huge, getting down and getting some points on the board. The Broncos searching for that run game. They really haven't established it consistently. Right. They got the one big home run from Hillman. Now it's going to be interesting as this game settles in. I think a much closer game than we thought, and it's going to be interesting to see how they both respond.
Yeah, now the Broncos will get the ball back, and they'll have a chance with one timeout to go, up 10 late here in Denver, as Bridgewater on the sidelines. And I'll tell you what, that drive, it's one of those things, you look at the stats, you just can't always tell. Bridgewater did a lot of things under duress there. And Walsh, with the 38-yard field goal, will kick it off, and this one is out of the end zone. Tomorrow, a showdown brewing that has Gotham on edge. You think you know what's happening next? You'd better think again. The new season is here. Gotham, Rise of the Villains. Catch an all-new episode tomorrow right here on Fox. Vikings, John, have run 40 plays to the Broncos 16. And here's what both quarterbacks have done so far today.
Yeah, really odd. I mean, the time of possession, 20 and change for the Vikings, only about 8 minutes for the Denver Broncos. So the Vikings have controlled the ball, but this defense done a great job for the Broncos keeping the Vikings out of the end zone.
Hillman in the game at tailback. Broncos have it on their own 21 timeout with 1:39 to go in the half. Manning coming near side. There's Thomas. Demaryius Thomas makes the catch. He's going to pick up 3. It's interesting. One of Peyton Manning's favorite targets the last year and 4 games has been Emmanuel Sanders. Hasn't caught a pass. He caught one that was nullified by a penalty. That's it.
Well, he's only thrown the ball 9 times.
That's true.
So they haven't had the ball a whole lot. Haven't had a chance to establish any rhythm.
Part of that is, yes, they had the home run play by Hillman, but you talked early on. Broncos establishing an identity offensively. Hasn't happened yet. They're still winning, and they're still 3-0. On second down, blitz coming, and a completion. There's Daniels, the tight end, and he's out near the 30. Should be a first down. And a gain of 8 it is.
And Kevin, you bring up a great point. The fact that despite these offensive struggles, as we see the completions to Daniels, there's no panic in Peyton Manning. In fact, he looks I've known Peyton and competed against him for a long time. As we met with him, I think as relaxed as I've ever seen him. And I think the reason being, they want to build this thing towards the playoffs. In the past, they've come out of the gate so strong, it's hard to sustain that. The idea this year, let's continue to get better. And hey, they're 3-0.
Yeah. By the way, Manning going deep here. Oh, incomplete. Speaking of Sanders, there he was, just off the fingertips.
I think he heard you. And, that's something you don't see often. A missed catch by Emmanuel Sanders. Would have been a tough one, but one I know that Emmanuel expects himself to make. And this is something that the Broncos have been working on hard. The explosive plays on throwing the deep balls outside. They made a couple versus the Detroit Lions. And Peyton Manning said the ability to put that on film, that will back those cornerbacks up, as will that.
Blitz. Manning goes far side, trying to set it up for a little screen, and the Vikings diagnosed it beautifully. Captain Munnerlyn was there.
It's outstanding by Munnerlyn. The screen game always such a big part of the Broncos offense. Munnerlyn comes off his man and holds on to Demaryius Thomas. And the fans get frustrated on this, but anytime Demaryius Thomas has the ball in his hands, the opportunity for the home run is there. No one with more yards after the catch in football over the last 2 years than Demaryius Thomas.
Well, going back again to what we talked about early on, about finding an identity, right? What did Peyton tell us on Friday? He said, hey, you know, we're running these plays, but the only real way to see if they work is with game reps. That's it. You know, and you can do it in practice all you want, but when it works in the game, we'll use it. And if not, we'll discard it and go on to something else. 3rd down and 10. Vikings took their first time out with 40 seconds to go in the half. They'd get the ball back here if they hold. They back off on the blitz. Manning back, throwing deep near side, and a completion. Jumping catch by Thomas down at the 45.
And that's something I think that Peyton Manning has decided. You got Demaryius Thomas. Does he have the arm strength he once had? No, but just throw it up and give the big guy a chance to go use his athleticism on these jump balls. That's exactly what he does, and not many guys in this league can cover that. Tremendous concentration by Demaryius Thomas.
Broncos have called their final timeout of the half. And, you know, already where they are, they're almost in McManus's field goal range. He's got a huge leg. He was hitting from 62 in the pregame warm-ups, John. So as it is right now, this is about a 63-yarder. So they're actually kind of in range to attempt one if they don't go any further.
Earlier 47-yarder with McManus, you think chip shot. You know, it's just his range is incredible.
There he is. You talked about Thomas, by the way, why the jump ball. He's bigger than most people realize. 6'3", 230. 32 seconds to go in the half. Manning going far side. It's intercepted. It's picked off by Barr. And Anthony Barr makes the interception, puts the Vikings in great field position with 23 seconds to go in the half.
And Anthony Barr does a tremendous job of just baiting Peyton Manning into this one. He's in zone coverage, reading Peyton Manning's eyes. Anthony Barr right there. Peyton Manning going back. He comes off his man and comes up on Andre Caldwell right in his arms. Tremendous job by Anthony Barr. Tough to fool Peyton Manning. Anthony Barr just did it.
Anthony Barr, a huge play. And now Minnesota with 2 timeouts in good position on the 27. And now 3 flags on the play.
Illegal substitution. Defense, 12 men on the field with the offense in formation. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Anthony Barr now has, let's see, coming in today, a fumble, forced fumble. He's got 2 sacks. He's got a interception. And he's set up this Minnesota offense. Vikings D coming to play today. 1st and 5. Bridgewater has time. Coming near side. And he's got a completion. There's Mike Wallace. We get a flag. He's at the 5. Gain of 17. Let's see what the penalty is.
It's going to be offsides on DeMarcus Ware up top. I think Bridgewater saw that. He knew he had a free shot to take, and he took it. Again, Mike Wallace on Chris Harris.
Number 94, defense. The penalties decline. First down.
DeMarcus Ware up top. You see him jump in the neutral zone. Teddy Bridgewater, no, he's got the shot. Remember earlier we talked about Talib going over to work on Wallace. They go back to this matchup, and Mike Wallace has owned that today.
What a momentum changer this would be. First and goal, 17 seconds in the half. Bridgewater coming near side, touchdown Mike Wallace. What a turn of events. The interception by Barr, and the Vikings capitalize.
Norv Turner always talks about having some misdirection in his offense, and here's the misdirection. Everyone expecting Mike Wallace to again work on Chris Harris. This time he comes all the way across the formation.
Now Walsh, the extra point. He's missed one of these this year. Snap is down, and this kick is just fine. Wow, big plays by the Vikings before the break. And as it looked like the Broncos were going to add points, the pick by Barr, and a good return, setting the Vikings offense up. And then you get the help of Mike Wallace, John.
Look at Mike Wallace all the way across the formation. Aqib Talib now on him, but going to get caught up in the traffic. Wide open is Mike Wallace, and Teddy Bridgewater hits him. Aqib Talib looks confused, as if Mike Wallace is not his man. And Teddy Bridgewater says, thank you very much. Mike Wallace said, hey, the touchdowns are coming, the passing game, it's coming, and it has at the end of this half.
It's here. He had 12 catches for the first 3 games, and you could tell just trying to find his way in the offense. 6 catches, 54 yards, and a touchdown, and a couple where he was wide open and missed to boot.
No doubt. And the other thing this does, this obviously keeps Minnesota in the game. It allows them to continue to feed Adrian Peterson. You go in 13-0, all of a sudden you got to start throwing the football all around. Instead, now you stick with Adrian Peterson, you stay balanced. And those corners who've been so good for the Denver Broncos struggling to cover these Minnesota receivers.
Walsh will kick it off out of the end zone. Broncos will have it with 12 seconds, likely to take a knee. Visa Halftime Show is coming up. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. And there's a lot to talk about with the early games. Big headlines. How about the Carolina Panthers? They're 4-0, first time since 03, and they had a big win over Tampa today. Falcons are also undefeated. They crushed Houston in Atlanta, and Devontae Freeman had another big game, 3 more scores. And the Bengals are 4-0. They took care of Kansas City, quietly going about their business and winning. Peyton Manning will take a knee, and this game has changed. Broncos had the momentum, had the domination going for a while, up 13-0, but now we go to the break 13-10 behind Teddy Bridgewater. The Vikings coming back strong. What a game from Denver. Good first half. Lot to do at the break with the Visa Halftime Show, so we go there right now. Back to Kurt Menefee and the fellas in LA. Today's excitement is brought to you by Nissan. And that was today's excitement brought to you by Nissan. Good game. There's Hillman. He had the big play for Denver, 72-yard touchdown run. 13-10 Broncos at the half, but things changed big time in the last 2 minutes with the Barr interception, and then they punched it in with the Wallace touchdown. Vikings have kind of sustained a big uppercut from Denver, and now they're in this
Absolutely.
thing.
You make a great point. I think early on they looked overwhelmed by the speed and intensity of this Denver defense. They settled in. Their quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, we talked about his poise, and really without much Adrian Peterson, they've managed to gain some momentum offensively. Now the Denver Broncos, obviously the big turnover at the end, but they just haven't been on the field enough to again continue to establish that identity offensively.
And give credit to the Minnesota defense, because other than that big play, they haven't really allowed much. And even when Denver had that little drive at the end of the half, they get the play from that man Barr, the interception, good return. And Teddy Bridgewater has really done a nice job remaining poised despite a lot of pressure. There's Mike Zimmer in the purple, Gary Kubiak for the Broncos. Broncos will receive the second half kickoff. goes out of bounds. They're starting their own 20. Down to the sidelines we go with Pam Oliver.
Well, Kevin, Gary Kubiak was mostly happy with the way the defense performed in the first half, but he also felt like they sort of allowed Minnesota to gain some momentum, which officially put this group in a dogfight. Offensively, he felt that protection for Peyton Manning was only decent. He says we've got to clean some things up there. Mike Zimmer, meantime, he talked about the offense finally getting its footing against Denver's incredible speed. He felt like they've adjusted nicely to that. That lull after the missed field goal was a problem, and he takes responsibility for Ronnie Hillman's long run. He said, I made a bad call. Back to you.
Well, that time Hillman got the ball, but they did a better job on Hillman as he picks up 5 to start this second half.
You know, and then this is going to be the key. Again, they said it coming in, and it's still been the case. Absent of Ronnie Hillman's big 72-yard rush, they have struggled and failed to get any run game going. They've got to get that run game going. That will help the protection for Peyton Manning.
Run it to Hillman left. Hillman first down. He's going to pick up 6. So Ronnie Hillman, maybe he's the answer to get this run game going. First 2 carries of the second half.
Well, Gary Kubiak is not going to stop until he finds the right guy to get this going. And it's a combination. Up front, Peyton Manning said it's really hard when you up front you got 5 guys that are really just getting to know each other. I'm talking about their names. A brand new offensive line. Now you have the injury at left tackle, and so it continues the issues that they're facing up front.
Hillman remains in the game. C.J. Anderson, the starter, he's got 5 carries for just 11 yards. So Hillman starting this second half. Manning airing it out for Thomas, and we're going to get a flag. Looked like Rhodes was on the coverage there, and he came into this game with 3 defensive holdings, which is the most in the league. Maybe this again, we'll see.
Pass interference, number 29, defense. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
You know, I think this is important. Demaryius Thomas is out there one-on-one. Just about every time you got to take a shot at going after Xavier Rhodes in this instance. I understand what Xavier Rhodes is saying because not a ton of contact right there.
Yeah.
But you got to continue to throw those deep balls because people are suffocating this Broncos offense because they don't believe that they're threatened deep.
So first down after the penalty. They go to the pistol formation. C.J. Anderson back in the game. And a running back. Anderson, left side, good hole, and he couldn't get through it. Gerald Hodges prevented what could have been a nice game.
And you know, right there, that's a run that Gary Kubiak, everyone expects C.J. Anderson. It's not going to be clean all the time. That's fairly clean. You got to bust that tackle. That's a nice job blocking up front. That's enough space. That should at least be 4 or 5 yards. Instead, a 3-yard gain, and that's just not enough from C.J. Anderson.
That could have been a 20-yarder, but Hodges held on. They mark it as a 4-yard gain. It's second down and 6. Vikings show blitz. Here they come. Locked up. Manning going deep down the middle of the field. And he's got a completion. There's his man. It's Sanders. And a flag late. Emmanuel Sanders hadn't caught a ball all day, and he catches that one for 43.
And here's what we talked about early on. The pistol. It gives them that balance. The play action pass. Now Emmanuel Sanders.
Foul, horse collar tackle, number 29, defense. Half the distance to the goal.
The press coverage, Emmanuel Sanders beats that, a perfectly thrown football, and here's the horse collar at the end of the play. Finally, an explosion play for this Denver Broncos offense in the passing game.
So good start to this third quarter. Broncos come out with a nice drive and a big play. 43 yards, tough set for Xavier Rhodes.
And that right there is why the run game's so important. You don't get that kind of coverage unless you're running the football. Not that they're running it great, but they're staying after it.
First and goal from the 3. Hillman is the tailback. Manning going to throw it again for the end zone. Knocked away. There's the old vet Terrence Newman, who was right there.
Terrence Newman, pretty incredible in his 13th year. Still playing the cornerback position very well, going up against Emmanuel Sanders, a tough cover, and you can't do it any better at corner.
Newman left Dallas years ago before he went to Cincinnati with Mike Zimmer, and He had a rough couple years, and even Mike Zimmer told us that the other day. He said, but I'll tell you what, he got to Cincinnati. He never lost his speed and quickness. They worked on technique, and here he is at age 37, still playing well. 2nd and goal. Hillman, trap play, short of the goal line. It's going to be down at the 1, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Nice job of deception. They're going to bring Emmanuel Sanders, just a little distraction, and then hit it downhill with Ronnie Hillman. Starting to get some creases and some area, some space in that defensive front for the Minnesota Vikings. Harrison Smith, a great safety, puts on a hit to finish that play.
Hillman, 3rd and goal. He is not going to get in. The Vikings were there to stone Hillman, and now if you're Gary Kubiak, do you go on 4th down?
Watch Linval Joseph, the nose guard, right there. The strength, the penetration, beating Evan Mathis in there. Anthony Barr again, a lot of big, strong guys. Gary Kubiak says we're going for it.
Fourth and goal. Fake to Hillman. Manning going to throw it back the other way. Touchdown, but a flag is down. Daniels on the touchdown, but hold everything.
Holding, defense, penalties to flag, touchdown.
Owen Daniels on the touchdown on 4th and 1.
And again, it's continuing to stay after the run. Owen Daniels going to come cross formation. That's something they do in their run game, so it looks like a run. You sneak them out. Peyton Manning for the easy touchdown. Owen Daniels, a guy that Gary Kubiak said we have to continue to get more involved. And Owen Daniels pays off with the touchdown.
That's an 8-play, 80-yard drive to start the 3rd quarter for the Broncos for an offense that had struggled for the most part. They needed it, and the extra point is good. But how did they get there? It was Emmanuel Sanders getting on the stat sheet with 43 yards to get the Broncos, to get them going, and then on 4th down, the call to go. It paid off. 20-10, Denver in front.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Chevrolet. Find new roads. By Pizza Hut. Bring home the flavor only at Pizza Hut. And by Cialis.
Take a look at the Rocky Mountains and from Denver offense. Well, they've had the big plays today that they've lacked all year long, John.
Well, you see it. I mean, this is a team used to hitting home runs, 80, 20-plus plays last year. Not a lot coming in, and the explosion, they're starting to find it as they find their identity offensively.
Yeah, Cordero Patterson, returnable kickoff, and he's got good speed if he gets through, and a good return as he has the Vikings out to the 27-yard line. Together, the NFL and the American Cancer Society encourage everyone to join in the fight against breast cancer. Learn more about a Crucial Catch Day on October 13th and find out how you can help make a crucial catch at NFL.com/pink. Obviously a great cause in this month of October, so that everyone you know has been unfortunately involved with that disease. And the NFL doing a nice job to raise awareness and money. So now the Vikings, can they respond? Trying to get the running game going with Peterson, and there's still nothing doing.
You know, Kevin, you really got to praise this defense, because I did their preseason. I broadcast their preseason, and I thought the one thing where they were a little susceptible was the run defense. They're so fast, a little smallish inside, so how do you beat a team like that? You run right at them. But Wade Phillips and his guys have done a tremendous job of stopping the run, which then allows them to unleash these pass rushers, and they're deep at the pass rushing.
John Peterson, 11 carries, 29 yards, and now they put him at the top of the screen as a wideout. Blitz coming, the throw it to Peterson, and he goes down. He had no chance. TJ Ward, the safety, hit him as soon as he caught it.
This is what you have to do. Watch TJ Ward way back there, but you can't wait when you're going against a great player. Go go at them, and if you miss them, you got to rely on your teammates. That's exactly what TJ Ward does, and that's a big-time tackle on Adrian Peterson in space.
And now a 3rd down and 10. Bridgewater's been under pressure a lot. He's been sacked 3 times. 4-man rush. He's got time. He throws it over the middle to Thielen. Makes the catch, and it's not going to be enough for a 1st down. He had to get out to the 37, and the Broncos were all over it with Chris Harris there on the stop.
And Wade Phillips continues to make nice adjustments. We've seen earlier today, man-to-man, them struggling with these crossing routes. Instead, put them in zone, eyes on the quarterback, and then break on the football. Great job by Wade Phillips and his staff, continuing to make the right adjustments.
Here's Emmanuel Sanders back to return this punt. He's never taken one back for a touchdown. It's a good kick. Puts him all the way back inside the 15. And covered well by these Minnesota Vikings. Trey Waynes, the rookie cornerback, there to make the stop. 54-yard punt and no return. So the Vikings trying to hang in. They're down 10, and now Peyton Manning and the offense for Denver gets the ball. Well, Peyton Manning, all he does is win, right? I mean, here they are 3-0. First time, or I should say the 7th time that he's been 3-0 in his career, most in history. How many yards has he thrown for? How about 40 miles worth? Teddy Bridgewater, slightly short of that, just under 2 miles. We're having a little fun with numbers. Why not? Most touchdown passes in Vikings history. All those quarterbacks, some of the greats in their history. Total of 533. Manning by himself, including today, 536. Wow.
Unreal. And that's why he's the 5-time NFL MVP. You can put up number after number, but here's what I know from knowing Peyton quite well.
Yeah.
It's about winning a championship. That's all he wants from this team. He could care less about numbers. That's why he wants to get this run game so much, because he knows how much it helps him.
Yeah, he's got nothing else to play for. He's accomplished everything else as Anderson gets a carry, but we get a flag. Hodges on the tackle. Let's see what the penalty is. Showed you those numbers, and you know, obviously Peyton's been doing this for such a long time. Bridgewater in his 2nd year. But it's kind of funny, John, when we'll get the call here first from Walt Coleman. Maybe.
Illegal formation. Number 79 was not on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Point of emphasis. I mean, they send us a video each week. They said they were going to be on this. And here you go. Michael Schofield way back. And you got to break the midline of that center's backside. And Michael Schofield a little too far back.
Finish the story, put it in perspective. When Peyton Manning debuted, Teddy Bridgewater was 5. 5. Here's the throw to the far side that's incomplete, looking for Daniels. And Teddy say, hey, look, I can't be starstruck. Maybe sometime in February I'll be like, oh, cool, I played against Peyton Manning, but not today. So the first 15 starts for both quarterbacks today. Yeah, you forget Peyton Manning threw 28 interceptions his rookie year, and then the next year just won 13 games.
So if I look at that, I'm thinking he's going to throw for 45 miles in his career. Teddy Bridgewater.
He's got a little way to go there, John. 2nd and 15 for Manning and the Broncos. Anderson up the gut, looking for room, not much there. Kendricks with the tackle. Vikings defense is tough, and Mike Zimmer's done a nice job. You think about what Zimmer has done. 2013, before he got here, John, they were last in points allowed. So Zimmer comes in last year, moved up to 11th points allowed. This year, coming into today, 5th.
They're tough and they're young, Kevin, and so they've got the opportunity to sustain this success for a while on the defensive side of the ball. I like the style they play. It's physical, it's fast, and they're well schooled.
On 3rd and 11, quick throw, far side Thomas looking for a block, makes a move, short way to go. Oh, and he gets popped by Harrison Smith, the guy that I know that you like watching his film this year.
Yeah, you watch the film, and the film doesn't lie, and all I know is 22 is all over the field. You watch him come and finish this play on Demaryius Thomas. Not many people knock Demaryius Thomas back. That's exactly what Harrison Smith, a fine young player, the Minnesota Vikings have at the safety position.
So the Vikings D holds, and Britton Colquitt will do his job. Both punters having a nice afternoon. No pressure, gets it away, returnable for Sherrills, who's got good ability back there. And the Broncos get down. Sherrills gets hit hard. He's at the 45, so he absorbed the hit from Shaquille Barrett. But Minnesota has good field position here. They're down 10 in Denver. 7:16 to go in this third quarter. Vikings defense keeping them in it. Mile High City, we're back.
Ace Game is sponsored by Verizon. Watch live local games with NFL Mobile, only on Verizon.
Here's Minnesota down 10. Good field position to start. Trying to get Peterson going, and that'll help. They go pitch out this time, and he's going to get across midfield. Still going. Peterson has 6 on first down. They've kept him quiet today. 12 carries, 34 yards, averaging 2.8. Bridgewater, maybe the numbers don't look pretty, but he's been under duress and played well. And Wallace, his best game as a Viking so far.
You know, Kevin, you just saw something, though, that Norv Turner alluded to. I asked him, Emmitt Smith, Eric Dickerson, Adrian Peterson, what's the similarities? And he said it's competitiveness. You've got to be mentally tough. You're going to get shut out sometime, but the great ones keep plugging, and that's exactly what Adrian Peterson's doing.
There he is again. Peterson, stutter step, can't find a hole. He looked around, nothing there. Marshall on the tackle. Let's go back to the last play on defense for Minnesota. It was Harrison Smith on Demaryius Thomas. Right there. Well, why are we showing you? Because Thomas is hurt after that play.
Big hit by Harrison Smith, and Demaryius Thomas off to the locker room. So interesting to keep an eye on that.
Meanwhile, big third down for Minnesota. And they fake the snap. Peterson on a sweep, but it's played well by Denver. They were all over it. Von Miller came up, so did Chris Harris.
Well, they direct snapped it right to Adrian Peterson. Looked like it was going to have some space, but this Denver defense so well schooled. You see Von Miller right here. Watch him come out. Looks like he's hooked. Instead, he comes out. Chris Harris is there. Team defense, great individual efforts, but look at the way they fly to the football. Very impressive.
That was a heck of a job. That play fooled me. And after great field position, Denver holds Minnesota to a 3-and-out. That was a critical stop for this Denver defense. Von Miller coming up big on that third down. 2 good defenses today, but it's Denver with the lead. Von Miller made a big play to put the Vikings in a 3-and-out situation. So now Broncos football started out. They're going to get a Hillman. Cuts back his field. Good run. Ronnie Hillman out to the 19. So he's going to pick up 7 on first down. Hey, this season, stream live local Sunday afternoon games right on your smartphone with NFL Mobile. Other games going on right now. Packers up 17-3 on the Niners. Rams in front of the Cardinals 17-9. That's a little bit of surprise. Arizona's been playing great.
Hey, you got 50.
2nd and 3. Hillman the back. Gets it again. Ronnie Hillman first down. Picks up 4. Let's go to a game break on another late game. San Diego and Cleveland. Kurt Menefee.
Yes, sir. With Antonio Gates still out with that suspension, this is his final week. Ladarius Green stepping in at tight end. That's his 2nd touchdown reception, 19 yards. San Diego on top of Cleveland, 20-16. Kevin, John, and Pam.
Okay, good one, Kurt. And I think the Chargers were so banged up on the O-line, they literally picked 2 guys up from the supermarket. I mean, they were so injured on the offensive line.
The entire offensive line was injured, and that's tough to operate.
Here are the Broncos 1st and 10 from their own 23. And movements left side of the offensive line. See who moved.
Neutral zone infraction, number 97, defense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
2nd time Everson Griffin's done that. Injury report. Let's go down to Pam.
Well, Kevin, Demaryius Thomas apparently paid a bad price for that nasty hit. The Broncos tell me that he is being evaluated for a neck injury. His return is questionable, so he's out on the series.
All right, Pam, thanks. Obviously, goes without saying, a huge loss. Their number 1 target. Hillman, again, he's been the guy, and the Vikings up to the task that time. Griffin making amends for the penalty. He got there first to disrupt it, a loss of 2.
Well, Everson Griffin beats the left tackle Ryan Harris to make the play, but I think the one thing you're starting to see, watch this offensive line absent of Everson Griffin up there. Look at the surge. The Broncos are starting to assert themselves up front. Ryan Harris swings and misses right there. Everson Griffin makes a nice play, but just watching the line of scrimmage, it's starting to come together for this Broncos offensive line.
Anderson's in the game at tailback. He gets it, running near side, tries to get to the edge, and good run from Anderson on second down. He's going to pick up 5. For the Broncos, starting to get some yardage running the ball. Now up to 115 yards on the ground. Granted, they had a 72-yard run mixed in there.
But when you run the ball effectively, here we are with a 3rd and 3. A lot more options in the playbook for Gary Kubiak and Peyton Manning on 3rd and 3 than there is on 3rd and 8, where they've been living most of this year.
This a 3rd and 2. It's 1 of 6 on 3rd down today are the Broncos.
Hey, Palmer! Podium!
4-man rush. Manning fires away, and he has a completion. Man, for a second that looked like it might have been tipped or picked off, but he's threaded the needle to Emmanuel Sanders, and it's a first down.
Threaded the needle is right, and it's because Anthony Barr right here, he's 6'5" and long, and he darn near gets his hands on this. That almost looked like a touchdown for a second, but Peyton Manning, so much faith in Emmanuel Sanders. Tremendous concentration, too. That ball was tipped by Barr. Sanders maintains concentration and brings in that pass.
So Sanders on the board, and they're going to run again. Coming near side are the Broncos for a short game. So we started this broadcast asking, we knew the Denver defense was #1 league. We asked about the Broncos' identity. So the question I would ask for you is, are they getting closer to one, John? I mean, do we have a better idea now?
Well, I think so, and I think one thing you're finding out, Gary Kubiak is stubborn. He's not giving up on this run game because he's always run it well.
Yeah.
And as soon as this offensive line, I think the important thing is finding who the runner is going to be. C.J. Anderson's struggling for whatever reason. I think he got spooked early because there were so many free runners, and he's just not seeing and trusting it. Ronnie Hillman's giving him a lift, and it's no coincidence that Ronnie Hillman's the guy in there the majority of the time now.
This time, though, it's Anderson who takes the pitch, and he gets belted backward. Linval Joseph is playing a big-time game today. He made the play.
We asked Mike Zimmer at the end of our production meeting, is there anybody not being talked about who deserves to be? And it's Linval Joseph was the first name that came up. Strong nose guard, doesn't get pushed, and then has the mobility to get outside and make a play like that.
He won a Super Bowl with the Giants, got a 5-year, $31.5 million deal to come over to Minnesota last year. And you're seeing why today. 3rd and 10 for the Broncos. Draw, and just tripped up. Man, it looked like Anderson was going to have it all the way, but there was Anthony Barr, those long arms again. They're going to be a yard shy.
Anthony Barr up top, and watch him unengaged, but frankly, that's a tackle you've got to run through. Arm tackle should not bring you down. You've got to run through that if you're C.J. Anderson.
This might take us to the end of the 3rd quarter, and that'll give Gary Kubiak time to think whether he wants to go on 4th down and 1. They've done it already one time today, and it converted a touchdown on this play. Will they go for it again? Up 10, 4th and 1 coming as we go to the 4th from Denver. We start the 4th quarter here from Denver, and a 4th and 1 for the Broncos, and after thinking about it, they've decided to punt.
I think it's the right call. You're up by 10 with this defense. You play to that defense. You pin Minnesota back and trust that defense.
So Britton Colquitt will do the punting. Demaryius Thomas is out of the locker room, so you have to think that's a good sign for the Broncos. They're going to punt here. Colquitt, little pressure, gets off. Another good high kick. Sherrill's fair catch, lets it go, and look at this. Broncos say thank you very much. Going to down it inside the 5. And so the punting from Colquitt, special teams from Denver. Webster down to down it, and now Minnesota has a long way to go. Down 10, facing this daunting Denver defense. Broncos up 10, early 4th. Demaryius Thomas back on the bench for the Broncos. Now probable, according to our Pam Oliver. That's good news for them, but now it's all on the defense. Minnesota football, they're backed up on their own 3, down 10 in the 4th. Peterson haven't been able to get him going, and that's not going to change now with flags flying on this play. It's been a group effort against Adrian Peterson, who coming into that play at 14 carries for just 35 yards.
Offside, number 43, defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, that helps. But, John, you know, Wade Phillips has gone against Peterson before when he was with the Texans and Kubiak, the head coach. This is Peterson's MVP year. He finished in an unbelievable fashion that year, over 2,000 yards. That 86 yards against Wade Phillips.
Wade knows what he's doing. I mean, he said the recipe for success, you're not going to stop him, just contain him, scheme some things up for negative plays, and then team defense. You got to rally to the football.
Fake, they'll throw it. Bridgewater steps away from pressure, fires complete. Thielen, oh, he couldn't hang on. He had it in his hands, but the sliding catch couldn't hang on, and it's a big drop.
TJ Ward makes a nice play, just letting Thielen feel his presence. Believe me, receivers feel that. His eyes instead on TJ Ward, instead on the ball. TJ Ward flying all over the field for the Denver Broncos.
Bridgewater now 16 of 29, 142 yards with 1 touchdown. Back to throw, far side, he's got a catch, and there is Diggs. He dropped it, he picks it back up, and he's got a first down. Roby knocked it out, but for the second time today, Diggs recovers his own fumble.
That's one thing this Bronco defense does as well, as you see the nice throw by Bridgewater to Diggs, but they go after the football. I mean, they get after that football. 10 takeaways coming in today. They get after that football. They're always ripping at it. As Aqib Talib said, we're ball searching.
First down. Bridgewater. That time Thielen has room to run across the 30 and slip down at about the 33. And so an 18-yard pickup to Thielen as Bridgewater finding a groove.
And a lot of people doubted Teddy Bridgewater's arm strength coming out of the draft and into the NFL. After studying him, I have no doubts about his arm strength. He's got all you need. North Turner says he can make every throw, and he could put some zip on it as he just did right there.
Moves the offense around. That's Mike Wallace, number 11, coming now to the bottom of your screen. First down, blitz coming. Bridgewater knows, gets rid of it, and immediately after Rudolph made the catch, there's your guy Ward again, right up on it with the tackle.
TJ Ward is an active safety. He's all over the field. Wade Phillips implementing him well, this time in coverage on Kyle Rudolph, a matchup that the Vikings liked coming in, but TJ Ward saying not so fast.
He's been a Pro Bowler the last 2 years, signed a 4-year deal, coming over from Cleveland last year. Second down and 9. Bridgewater. There's Cordero Patterson, who has been seldom used on offense this year. That should be right at the marker. We'll see where they spot it. Look good for a first down from here.
Cordero Patterson, part of the problem has been his route running. He's not where he's supposed to be when he's supposed to be there. North Turner, an old school coach, is going to make him learn, and there he does a fine job of getting where he's supposed to be, and Teddy Bridgewater comes right after him.
They spot it as a first down, and now a whistle. And I wonder if Denver's going to look at this. They call a timeout.
First.
All right, so their first timeout of this second half for the Broncos, and the Vikings trying to put together a drive. 12:05 to go. They're down 10.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Nissan. Innovation that excites. By Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL. And by Fitbit. Find your fit.
That was our director, Artie Kempner, jumping out of the plane before directing today's game. Pete Macheska at the controls. Pam Oliver, John Lynch, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt in Denver. Glad to have you along. Good afternoon of football. Good game. 20-10 Broncos. Here are the Vikings on a nice-looking drive so far. They've got a 1st and 10. 4-man rush. Now the middle breaks down, and Bridgewater goes down. Sylvester Williams, the big fella, former first-round draft pick, got there first.
And we documented just how many Broncos have sacks. It's not just the edge guys that you have to worry about. The guys in the interior as well. Malik Jackson and Sylvester Williams running a little game. Sylvester Williams, who's come alive in this Wade Phillips defense, brings down Bridgewater for the sack. They bring it from everywhere. The outside, the inside, the left, the right. They just bring it in Denver.
Crazy is that Derek Wolfe, another sack master, has been suspended the first 4 games. He comes back next week. Flags fly. This will not be a play. There's some movement by Minnesota. They're going to move back even further.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 75, offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Well, this Minnesota offensive line, John, they allowed 5 sacks week 1 where they were shredded by San Francisco. They allowed 1 sack week 2, none last week. Today's their toughest test, and they're not passing so far.
And the biggest reason why is in those last 2 games, they've had great success running the football. They haven't run the football, and that exposes them as pass blockers.
This is McKinnon getting a chance to run the ball on a 2nd and forever. And so now it'll just be a 3rd and forever. But you hit it. I mean, Adrian Peterson held to 35 yards on 14 carries. As a whole, the Vikings have 57 total rushing yards, averaging only 3.2 a carry. This is a team that ran the ball 63% of the time the last 2 weeks. Wade Phillips has forced them out of that. 3rd and 17 for Minnesota. Bridgewater complete, and I think he's going to be having a first down. That's Adam Thielen, and certainly if he doesn't have it, you think about going for it here. I don't know who it was, but it looked like Von Miller got decked on that play.
It's Red Ellison. You see up top, right up there. That's the kind of attention that Von Miller's going to get. Red Ellison motions in. You're always going to get chipped, and we'll see Thielen coming up short of the line to gain.
So he, according to that replay, and a good one from our crew, he will be a little short. Got to go here, obviously, John, right? Great work from Aaron Combs with that first down line. I know it's hard to believe, but that's not actually on the field of play.
Kevin, watch this. Here's life as Von Miller. There's Von, and he's going to get Red Ellison 85. Ooh, hello. Von Miller, he gets it every play. They're not going to leave him one-on-one. They're going to bring somebody from somewhere.
I know there's 10 minutes and 20 seconds to go, but this could be the game for Minnesota. 4th and 1. Three tight ends in the game. Peterson. Oh, he's got that and more. Adrian Peterson. Goodbye. yards.
North Turner knows he's done it throughout his career. You don't back off the run game. You stick with it. You stay with it. This is what we thought we'd see coming in. Right up the gut. Adrian Peterson, 100 miles an hour. Tremendous hole. Look at that hole by the Minnesota Vikings offensive line. And when you give Adrian Peterson that kind of crevice, this is what he said. They play so aggressive. If I can break that first and second line, I'm gone. And that's exactly what happened for Adrian Peterson. Wow.
Peterson comes through, and so did that offensive line, and the extra point by Walsh. He's got it. How about the drive from Teddy Bridgewater and company? 9 plays, 97 yards. And at a critical juncture in this fourth quarter, the Vikings deliver. They're only down 3. Your turn, Peyton Manning.
Well, Joe Berger and the left guard Fusco, they make the key blocks, and you give, like I said, you give Adrian Peterson that much room, he's going to hit his head on the goalpost, because that kind of speed you can't teach and you can't catch.
If only your telestrator worked as good as Adrian Peterson, we'd be in good shape.
Things a little temperamental today, but
And that's, John, that's to your point. That's why you keep running the ball, right? I mean, you keep banging into it, and then boom, at the most critical part, there's a 48-yarder.
No, and credit their defense, because they've kept them close enough where you can continue to run the football. And credit Teddy Bridgewater and that offensive line. Remember, this is a patchwork offensive line, filling in for injured players at center position, at the right tackle position. But they're doing a fine job today.
Teddy Bridgewater, 5 of 6, 51 yards on that drive. And they had a long way to go. So through first 107 games of their careers, Eric Dickerson over 11,000, Jim Brown over 11,000, Adrian Peterson pretty close, 10,481, ahead of Barry Sanders. That's a pretty good list, isn't it? And then the all-time leading rusher, Emmitt Smith, is right in that mix too. That's through the first 107 career games. Adrian Peterson, all-timer.
That was Adrian Peterson there with his running back coach, Kirby Wilson. But look at this list of guys he's in there. When you're in a graphic with Jim Brown and Barry Sanders, that kind of company, but you knew it when that guy came into the league. I played against him his rookie year, and my goodness, you knew you had something special and a force to be reckoned with for years to come.
So it's a 3-point game. Broncos will get the football. Walsh, this one's returnable if they want it, and Caldwell wants it. Hurtling over people, gets out near the 20. So no harm, no foul. October means baseball FS1 continues to be your home for postseason action with the ALDS and the Championship Series. Don't miss a moment of the drama. It all begins Thursday on FS1, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Postseason picture, it'll be the Astros and the Yankees. The winner will go to Kansas City. Rangers at Toronto in the American League. So that's what you're looking at on FS1 coming up. Demaryius Thomas is back in the game for the Broncos. It's a great sign. He's on the bottom of your screen. First and 10 Denver, up by 3. They'll fake. Manning, time, steps into it, lost one. And he's back in, and he's got a catch already. And Thomas has a first down. Going to pick up 16 yards.
And again, that's why you continue to run the football, even when you're not successful, because it sets up the play action, which creates these passing lanes. Peyton Manning continues to climb the pocket and then throw a nice catchable ball for Demaryius Thomas.
Nice and easy pitch and catch. Thomas back, they go right to him. He's got 9 catches, 93 yards today. That graphic was before that last catch, so there you go. All right, first down. Broncos from the 34. They go shotgun. They go Manning. They go overthrow. They go interception. Harrison Smith, the safety.
Peyton feeling hot and feeling really good about that connection with Demaryius Thomas. And you see him just try to anticipate the throwing angle, but got to throw it over the linebacker. Thomas pulls up a little bit. You see the eyes downfield. Harrison Smith, all he's doing is reading that. And pretty easy for Harrison Smith. Throws it right to him.
Well, the Vikings got a huge interception right before the half from Anthony Barr. He had a good return. They turned it into a touchdown. This one comes from Harrison Smith, the electric safety, 4th year out of Notre Dame, his first pick of the year. And now the Vikings with 9:07 to go, down by 3 their football from their own 47. They'll pass it on first. Bridgewater, a lot of time, dump it to Peterson. And Adrian Peterson has a nice gain on first down. He's down to the 46 before Brandon Marshall took him down.
And I like that play call. After Adrian Peterson busts a big one, North Turner knows that Wade Phillips has to dedicate everyone to the box, so he looks for the shot. The shot wasn't there, credit to the Broncos defense, but still gets positive yards, 7 yards on the check down to Peterson.
There's Wade Phillips. His team has done a nice job, at least until the last touchdown against Peterson. Fake it to him. Bridgewater will throw. He's got a man wide open, and it's Wallace. His first catch of this second half to Mike Wallace. And he's down to the 34. And Wallace has a first down in a gain of 12.
I've been talking about great adjustments that Wade Phillips has made all day. Here's one that he needs to make. Chris Harris cannot deal with the speed of Mike Wallace. Aqib Talib can, as can Bradley Roby. Chris Harris, a tough and quick player, not known for his speed. Mike Wallace, that's what he's known for. He's struggling on that cover, and I would make a change in a hurry.
Denver has gotten a lot of pressure all day long, but it almost feels like this offensive line from Minnesota is starting to solidify themselves.
Wade Phillips does make that change now. Talib on Wallace.
Peterson, left side, good hold, penalty though, so hang on.
DeMarcus Ware jumped off sides again, and Teddy Bridgewater saying
Offside, number 94, defense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Bridgewater doing a nice job of changing up that snap count. He gets Ware up top to jump.
That gives the Vikings a first and 10 at the Denver 29. 7:42 to go. Peterson, a little reverse to Wallace. Wallace trying to get outside, and DeMarcus Ware blew it up, and a late penalty. Let's see what the flag is. Ware saw it coming a mile away, but
maybe face mask on Mike Wallace on that stiff arm, but what a play by DeMarcus Ware. That looked like that was going to be huge yards. You see Mike Wallace has his hand in DeMarcus Ware's face mask.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask, number 11. 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. Still first down.
Watch DeMarcus Ware. This is a big-time football play. Inside, it looks like he's going to fall inside, and look at the athleticism to go out and chase a guy with the speed of Mike Wallace. That's a big-time football player playing smart football. DeMarcus Ware, and Mike Wallace gets the face mask to make things worse for the Vikings.
Now, to me, I'm going to ask you, you're the Hall of Fame type safety. When he flipped it to Wallace, I thought he was going to go.
That's what I just said. I thought he was out the door, but that's what Hall of Fame players like that guy, DeMarcus Ware, do.
So that changes things, obviously. They move him all the way back after the 15-yard penalty.
You know, and Norv Turner, who I respect as much as anybody in this league as a play caller, perhaps getting a little too tricky. You woke up a sleeping giant, and Adrian Peterson, feed the guy.
There's Norv. First and 20 now. That moves him back. They stay in the shotgun with 4 wide. Fans are into it here in Denver. Bridgewater coming deep near side, has a man, and Diggs has it. He should have a first down. Wow, he got open and Bridgewater hit him in stride. The rookie Diggs having a big debut.
And look at this. This is a rookie against one of the best corners in football. He absolutely, literally turns Aqib Talib around. What a job by a rookie stepping up because of injury. Stephon Diggs making the most of his opportunity.
21 yards. He was inactive the first 2 games. 6 catches, 87 yards today as they play without Charles Johnson, their starter. Here's Peterson. Spin, trying to get outside, can't do it. Game break. Kurt Menefee, what you got?
Well, no Antonio Gates. I won't say no problem, but they're still finding tight ends there in San Diego. John Phillips with the 3rd touchdown pass of the day for Phillip Rivers. They lead it 27-19 over the Browns. Kevin, John, and Pam.
Kurt, thanks. High drama here. Broncos 20, Vikings 17. 6:45 to play. Minnesota was down 10, converted a 4th and 1 for a 48-yard touchdown to Adrian Peterson. Now have a 2nd and 11 at the 24. Bridgewater. Time. On the run. No one open. And he's going to slide down and lose probably a yard.
Great coverage downfield, but Kevin, this is the mark of a great defense. We've been talking, we've been singing the praises of this Broncos defense as you see this coverage. But your Hall of Fame quarterback, Peyton Manning, threw the ball up to the other team. How are you going to respond? And here comes a big 3rd down. And interesting to see how Teddy Bridgewater is going to respond.
Need to get to the 13. He's got time. Bridgewater throwing, completing, not quite there to a first down. It was Thielen who made the catch. He's going to be about 1.5 yards, 2 yards shy. And Mike Zimmer, wasting no time, is going to try and send out his field goal unit to tie this game.
I think it's no brainer. You're a little bit short. You got to send the kicker out to tie the football game. And then trust your defense, who's really starting to play well and a little bit in Peyton Manning's head.
Brer Walsh has hit a 38-yarder. He's missed a 38-yarder today. This is from 33. Snap and hold are good, and that is good too. 33-yard field goal from Blair Walsh has tied this game in Denver. Emotion and drama. And the Vikings back from 10 down. We're tied at 20.
Today's game is sponsored by Burger King. Kickoff fall with a new Oreo Pumpkin Spice Shake.
Big time drive by the Vikings after the interception from Harrison Smith. They do get the field goal. DeMarcus Ware with a huge play which could have prevented a touchdown. But now the pressure shifts to Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I think Teddy Bridgewater's shown tremendous poise. I'm interested to see Peyton Manning's response. He's not going to be happy. He threw one right to Harrison Smith. It allowed them to tie the game. Now how is Peyton Manning going to respond in his 18th year?
We'll find out. Walsh, kick it off. Returnable. Caldwell decides to take it out. Looks like a pretty good decision and a good return out to the 24. Fox's football coverage doesn't end when the games are over. And we'll tell you more about that when we come back. Tied at 20, 5:05 to go. Here's Peyton Manning. John, I was trying to tell you I was rudely interrupted by a commercial. Afterwards, after this game, stick around. The OT, Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy bring you all the analysis, highlights, exclusive interviews, America's #1 postgame show. The OT, sponsored by Lowe's, coming up right here on Fox. Back in Denver, what a game. 20-all. John Lynch, I'm Kevin Burkhardt. I think the pressure's on Peyton Manning here. 6 touchdowns on the year, 5 picks, and now it's on him in a tie game.
Oh, there's no doubt. Michael, Terry, Howie, all those guys, they're going to be talking about this drive right here. How Peyton Manning responded to an interception that's hard to explain. One he just threw. I'm interested to see the response as well.
His turn, tied at 20. 5:05 to play, and here we go. Back to throw. Firing far side, completing far side, and a move and a nice one by Sanders, who's got a Bronco first down, and he's out to the 41. It's a gain of 17.
Well, Peyton Manning has a tremendous luxury in 2 top-flight receivers, and Emmanuel Sanders is certainly one. When you throw Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders out there, that's tough to deal with because they're both #1 receivers in my mind.
Hillman in the game at tailback. He's got 94 yards rushing. They'll throw here. Time for Manning. A lot of it going deep. Sanders incomplete. A little high. He had coverage there by Newman, and Smith was coming over on the help up top.
Peyton Manning being aggressive. He likes the matchup. Emmanuel Sanders working on Terrence Newman. Throws it away from the safety, trying to give Sanders an opportunity just to go up and make a play, and just a near miss.
John, we talked when we started. This was a good litmus test for Minnesota, and I don't know how this game's going to end. But they've showed some resolve today, haven't they?
It's a good football team. It really is. They're well coached. They've got good young players. It's a team that's going to be reckoned with this year and years to come.
They show that pressure up the middle. Don told you about earlier, the double-A blitz, they back off. Manning to throw far side. He's got a completion. There's Fowler, his first catch today. He had 4, his first 4 in the league last week, and this one good for a first.
That double-A look is a look that's given this league fits. It gave Phillip Rivers fits last week. Peyton said, we want plays that work regardless of what they do. If they come, we've got a play that works. If they drop, we've got a play that works. Right there is a perfect example of it for the first down.
Meanwhile, 28 quick yards on 3 plays for the Broncos. Under 4 minutes to play. Hillman has it up the middle. Makes a good cut and a nice run on first down for Hillman. He's going to pick up 5 yards. And so Hillman now 99 yards, again a 72-yard touchdown run, but it feels like he's kind of taking those reps from C.J. Anderson.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this offensive line, as I mentioned earlier, the timing starting to work a little bit better. Some more space for Hillman to take advantage of.
On second down, from the pistol, here's Manning. Throwing blitz coming near side, incomplete. He had to get rid of it. Heavy pressure on Manning, and now a very late flag. Thomas wanted a call on Rhodes, and it appears after lobbying for it, he may get it.
Pass interference, number 29, defense. Ball replay to the spot of the foul. First down.
I'm looking at the side judge. I mean, he's all over him. He's holding him. I think you had the better call to hold, but the DPI and the side judge, you see Demarius Lobby, and the side judge, he was reaching for that flag. He just couldn't get it out. He eventually got it out. That's why it looked so late.
Meanwhile, Rhodes, that's his 4th penalty on him today, or 3rd on Rhodes today. So he struggled out there at cornerback. And the Broncos have a first down at the 38. 2:56 to play. Anderson in the game at tailback now, giving Hillman a spell. Vikings showing pressure. Big hole. Anderson up the middle. Back in the game, and he delivers with a big run at a gain of 13.
And Michael Schofield, the right tackle, getting his first chances. Watch this block by Schofield. He's going to come down and cave that side of the field down. Michael Schofield making the huge block. C.J. Anderson hitting the hole hard and running finally with some authority.
Broncos had under 70 rushing yards all 3 games this year. Today, 141.
The other thing they're doing, Kevin, they've really eaten some clock. You're down to 2:18 right about now. You can hit the field goal and not leave Minnesota with much time.
Sure can. First down. Hillman back in the game, gets it. Running right side in a good hole again. And he's going to pick up 4 on that carry as a timeout is called by the Vikings. So their first timeout of this half. Obviously the 2-minute warning is coming. And so each team now with 2 timeouts left. Clearly the Broncos already in field goal position. So what's gone on here today? Well, it's been a good game, that's for sure. This right before the half. Anthony Barr, an interception, good return, set up that touchdown and gave Minnesota life because they were behind 13-0 at one point. Then on 4th and 1, Broncos win. They got a Daniels touchdown. 4th and 1, Minnesota win. They got a 48-yarder from Adrian Peterson, and all tied up. Then Harrison Smith, the interception. That led to a field goal, which would tie things up, and that's where we are with 2:09 to go. Broncos have it on the move and already in field goal range.
I think you got to give a ton of credit to these Minnesota Vikings because they just will not go away today. They're fighting right to the bitter end. Denver starting to seize back momentum and eating clock in the process.
Second down and 6. Run it again. Hillman again. This time nowhere to go. Vikings up to the task. No gain.
It's interesting. Peyton Manning trying to quiet down the crowd. What he doesn't realize, those Minnesota fans are here. You see them throughout the purple throughout the Denver crowd.
Big third down coming. 2-minute warning. We're tied in Denver.
Today's game is sponsored by Steve Jobs from the writer of The Social Network in select theaters October 9th.
You know, the Vikings fans want everybody to get up, and Peyton Manning says, no, get down.
And he doesn't understand because he has this crowd so well schooled. A lot of Minnesota fans made the trip, though, and Peyton Manning can't quiet them.
Welcome those of you who watched the Packers beat the 49ers. Here, 20 all, 2 minutes to go, and a 3rd and 6 for the Broncos from the 21-yard line. Each team with 2 timeouts. Manning looking near side, going deep near side. Thomas, incomplete. Rhodes, who has gotten penalized a few times in the second half, had good coverage and helped make the play, and now a field goal try for the lead.
Well, nice play by Xavier Rhodes, but I love the call because this, believe it or not, fairly safe. You're going to put it up there where only Demarius can catch it, and if not, you go ahead kick the field goal, but instead an aggressive way, but also staying safe and staying away from the interception.
So now a field goal. This will be 39 yards from Brandon McManus. 8 of 8 on the year. He's got a 33-yarder and a 47-yarder today to give Denver the lead. Snap and hold are good, and the kick is right down the middle, and the Broncos go back in front with 1:51 to go. Well, we've seen quite the game. He's John Lynch, by the way, the 9-time Pro Bowl safety. I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Minnesota was down 10 twice, fought back to tie it twice, and we keep using the word poise on Teddy Bridgewater. Now it's his show.
He's shown a lot of tremendous poise. He's been poised all day, under duress, getting chased by Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, and company. But here's the deal. I played on great defenses in Tampa, some of the greatest in the history of this game. You want to be called great? Finish people off.
Yeah.
This Denver defense, we've been praising them all day. You've got an opportunity to truly put yourself in that great category, because great defenses don't give up leads like this.
And by the way, we talked about the pressure on Peyton Manning. Engineered a nice drive. Didn't get the touchdown, but drive down the field to convert the field goal. Got some nice running on that drive, too. That's Manning's day. And now it's Bridgewater and the Vikings. Down 3. 1:51 to go. 2 timeouts. That's the situation. Cordero Patterson back to return if he gets a chance. McManus with a big leg. Here's the kick, and this one is going to go out of the end zone. The Vikings will start on the 20, where you know, John, they're going to have to deal with pressure, because Bridgewater's felt it all day from this Denver defense.
That's what this defense does. They dial it up with the blitz. Sometimes they don't have to blitz because they've got that guy, DeMarcus Ware. They've got Von Miller. They've got pass rushers coming from everywhere. Teddy Bridgewater has stood up to it. There's Shane Ray, the rookie, and remained poised. Now that poise will be tested.
So here we go. Broncos have 5 sacks on the day. Four-man rush. Bridgewater dumps it off to Peterson. He makes a cut, and he's going to pick up about 9 yards on first down.
Plenty of time, Kevin. You've got plenty of time. You just got to move the chains. You've got 2 timeouts, just about a minute, 35 seconds. Plenty of time for Teddy Bridgewater.
Second and 1. Bridgewater in trouble, and he's dropped again. The 6th sack of the day. It's Von Miller.
Well, Von Miller, tough for a rookie, tough duty. There's Von Miller. Watch him just get right underneath. Clemens should have been a hold as well, but Von Miller was not going to be denied, and Von Miller affects the game in so many ways. It doesn't always show up in snaps, it sacks, because he frees everyone else there, but there he just simply imposes his will.
His pass rush is relentless. They had 11 sacks coming into today, which was 3rd in the NFL. They've got 6 sacks today. That makes Minnesota use a timeout, so they've only got 1 timeout left, 1:20 left, and more importantly, a 3rd and 10.
And you have to give Clemens, the right tackle, some help on Von Miller.
Bridgewater gets away from a sack, room to run, and he'll run it. Why not? Tries to make a move, and he sacrifices his body for what should be a first down. Time ticking, 1:09 to go.
And you watch the end of this play. You see Teddy Bridgewater using those legs. It looks awful familiar to that John Elway spin in the Super Bowl against the Packers. Teddy Bridgewater giving up his body to get the first down.
Second time today on 3rd and long he's run for a first down. Under a minute. 4-man rush. Comes near side. Wallace makes a good catch out of bounds to stop the clock. He's up to the 47.
Mike Wallace. We've talked about the matchup being hard on Chris Harris. Now it's Aqib Talib's turn. And Aqib Talib, you have to respect that speed. Wallace running a fine route, making him respect the speed, then putting on the brakes. And Aqib Talib, one of the best, can't hang with him.
John, the career-long field goal for Blair Walsh is 56 yards. He's been inconsistent since his rookie year, but in this altitude, he's got enough leg. If they at least get to the 40, they'll have a shot.
Teddy Bridgewater, we talked about the poise. Boy, is he showing it right about now.
One timeout left. Play clock at 2. Get it off. Time to throw. Looking. Now pressure. In trouble. Throws it. And Peterson in the vicinity goes out of bounds. I don't know how he avoided a sack.
And that's, again, the luxury that Denver has. Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware get tired. You just bring in Shaquille Barrett, who owned the preseason, made the biggest play in last week's game, and he's going to be relentless. There comes Shane Ray. So their two backup outside linebackers give Ware and Miller a rest. Now here comes Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware. They come at you from every direction.
Just to throw it away for now, save the game. 2nd and 10. Blitz coming. Bridgewater in trouble. Sack. Fumble. It's loose. Broncos have it. Game time. T.J. Ward forced the fumble.
Well, Kevin, we talked about great defenses stepping up, rising to the moment. It's early in the year, but they certainly have been great thus far, and they've been great today. Watch T.J. Ward. He's coming from up top. Teddy Bridgewater worried about Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware. Here comes T.J. Ward to strip him off the corner. Wade Phillips brilliantly dialing up the blitz. Tough to deal with is this defense.
And the Broncos will take a knee. What a football game here in Denver. Peyton Manning engineers a late drive, and as you call, the defense stepping up big. 2 sacks on the final drive. 2 good football teams as the Broncos will go to 4-0, and Minnesota will fall to 2-2.
And Kevin, I think the thing I come out of this game with, impressed with this defense in Denver, the offense starting to find themselves, but this Minnesota team, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with this year as well.
That'll do it from here. The Broncos win it. We now go to the conclusion of the Rams-Cardinals. Tom Brenneman, Charles Davis, Tony Siragusa. Fellas.